Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Robert Zieve. I practice in Prescott, Arizona, integrative medicine, and I'm the supervising physician at Uramed Foundation Integrative Cancer Clinic in northern Phoenix, Arizona. And what this video is about is to give you some guiding points in how to put together medicinal smoothies that will support you in your process of healing. This is a very amateurish video that we're doing in my home kitchen to be able to show you, have a comfort level of being in your own kitchen at home and putting together the kind of programs and medicinal smoothies that you need that can help you on your process of healing. And what I'll do in the process is go over some of the nutrients and botanicals that we use, and much of this material I have learned, I've been blessed to be able to study with a master herbalist nationally. His name is Donnie Yance of the Mederi Foundation, and also Dr. Dwight McKee, who's an integrative oncologist in Northern California. And much of the material you're going to see today, and much of the things you're going to hear me say, are about what I've learned from these two individuals and the other people that teach with these two individuals, with Donnie Yance and Dr. McKee. Okay, why don't we get started? And what you're going to see me do is move things around here a little bit. And what this program is about is, and we're in a kitchen where you're going to hopefully be preparing the kind of meals that you want to be preparing to alkalinize your system, to support protein and cellular regeneration, and what will support you in your process of healing. And food, I must say, is the most important thing. Often people in our society depend upon supplements, and that supplements is what it says. Supplements is in addition to supplement a program that you're doing. And often when we have a serious illness, we often need good botanicals. Botanicals means herbs, and nutrients. And much of the reason why we develop cancer today is because of some of the deeper conflicts that we hold within us that permit these cancers and permit the genetic tendencies to develop cancer to come to the surface, and what is called epigenetics, which is our exposure to chemicals and heavy metals and infections that weaken the immune system and permit the tendency to cancer, which is called epigenetics, that lays dormant within the cell that we might have inherited, or those kind of exposures to start to manifest themselves, and we see cellular growth. As you can tell, I'm going to specifically focus on this kind of a program for patients with cancer. Okay, why don't we get started? So as you can see over here, I have a blender. You can use any kind of blender you want to use. This is a Vitamix, but this is not necessary. Okay, and the purpose of doing this is, remember that herbs are multitaskers. We hear that blah blah person is a multitasker, and that's a sign of genius in our society, is to be able to move from one thing to the other and be able to multitask. Often we all get into problems trying to be too much of a multitasker, too much type A, too much of doing too many things at one time, not having a cohesiveness and an integration in who we are every day. So the purpose of the focus of this is to show you how you can support yourself with good herbs and nutrients to support the multitasking capacities of many herbs or botanicals in the body, which work synergistically in multiple biochemical pathways and physiologically to help cellular repair, to help detoxification, to help build healthy tissue, help to normalize and support balancing of your endocrine or hormonal system and your immune system. That's what we're doing. Never mind, what you're hearing there is my cell phone in the background. We're not going to answer that. Okay, so The first thing, what I'm showing you here, by the way, is I make these smoothies 4 or 5 days a week for myself. You know, try to get over the word smoothie. We associate smoothie meaning going to McDonald's or something like that and getting something that tastes very sugary and very stimulating. That's not what this is about. We call it a medicinal smoothie or a medicinal drink that you can support yourself with. So this can taste good. I want to say that at the beginning, what I'm going to talk about. You'll see when we go along that there's ingredients you can add to these that will make it taste very palatable and help you in being able to take this down. So I take this 4 or 5 days a week. And by the way, the products that I'm going to talk about here, they're available online in online stores, and they're available in many local stores. Here in Prescott, Arizona, there's a store called One Root Herbothecary, through which many of my patients go and purchase many of these products. We don't sell them out of the office. This is a product that is called Paleo Meal. It's a natural chocolate flavored dietary supplement, has a lot of nutrients and some botanicals in it, a bunch of minerals and B vitamins, and it's good to put in as a grounding, as a base, so to speak. And again, this can be ordered through many of the sites that I just talked about, the online stores. So you do like a scoop, that kind of thing. Okay, and I've gotten into using a greens powder with this. It has other things in it that I think complement the paleo meal, but you can, you know, people who have barley or gluten intolerance are not going to want to use the greens powder because most of these greens powders have barley. And many people react to barley which is a gluten. Okay, so we'll put a scoop of the greens powder in there, and I feel like Julia Child in the kitchen here. Okay, and let me just walk over here and get a spoon. What this is coconut milk powder, 65% virgin coconut oil, powder made from the oil. The reason why this can be very helpful is that if you're having difficulty losing weight, gaining weight, okay, if you have what's in cancer medicine called cachexia, or a tendency to drop weight when you're eating what you do, you want to add the coconut milk powder to this. Okay, and also if you have neurologic issues too, the coconut milk powder will have the essentials that will help the brain to start to function better. So we put a tablespoon of the coconut milk powder in there. Does that help to put this up like that?
You know, yeah.
Okay. So this is a powder. I'm going to get another one out from here. And this is called Vital Adapt. This is a botanical tincture made by Natura Health Foods, health products in Ashland, Oregon. And Donnie Yance, the herbalist I mentioned earlier, has developed this formula. They call it Vital Adapt because adapt is the root word for adaptogen, which is a reference to certain types of herbs which you probably have heard of before. Some of them called Siberian ginseng, rhodiola, schisandra, ashwagandha, herbs like that. The adaptogens normalize, they're non-toxic, and they help regenerate the neuroendocrine system. So what I usually do is put like a teaspoon to a tablespoonful of that into the smoothie. It's really important to think about what we're building here is a foundational formula for doing medicinal daily smoothies that then you can split this up. You'll see when we make it, you can split it up during the day and drink part of it, sip on it during the day, and that kind of thing. Okay? And this has the herbs that I mentioned, eleuthero root and leaf. Many of these herbs are Donnie Yance and Natura Health Products have imported from Russia and other countries where The research and the quality of the product is impeccable. To me, they are worth the price of what you're going to pay for them. So it does have certain other herbs in here. Many people will go out to the health food store and get Siberian ginseng or get Schisandra or rhodiola and take them individually. Try to remember that herbs work best as families. The reason why in cultures we know in the past and in the present today people add a little sage and a little rosemary to the roast, to the soup. So herbs work as families together. So these products are put together very intelligently and in ways that synergize with each other to be able to do cellular repair and DNA repair in the body when you have cancer. Okay, so I just poured some of that in. This is a product called Immicare 1, and this has its main herb. When you look at the bottle of some of these, you'll see the #1 herb that's in it is listed at the top. And there is so much research. If you research and search PubMed online, there is so much research that's available in the field of oncology to oncologists and to people who are working with patients with cancer that can help the repair process. Also, if you're going through chemotherapy, this kind of a program is a must because it helps to detoxify and get rid of the side effects of the chemotherapy out of the system. Okay, Immicare 1 has its #1 herb is astragalus, is a great immune system supporter, and it has echinacea, and it has certain other herbs in it that you can read on the bottle. It really is a good immune system supporter. So what we generally do is put a teaspoon of that in. Okay. Then there's another product. A lot of us, the reason why we, in our exposures in the world, through what we're exposed to and the kind of infections and the kind of things I was talking about earlier in this video, I'm sure you've heard the word antioxidants. The reason why antioxidants is such an important thing, and they're pushed as supplements. Remember, good foods and alkalinizing our system with vegetables. I remember Michael Pollan's work. I forget the name of the book. Michael Pollan talks about his 3 dictums are eat food, less of it, and more vegetables. So when I say eat, when he says eat food, many of the things we have in our fridge and in our cabinets are not food, not real food. Chips and all that kind of stuff, refined white flours, that kind of stuff is not real food. Okay, okay. So what this is a botanical treasures. Its #1 herb in here is turmeric. You've probably heard of turmeric. A lot of people use turmeric on their food, but when you take it in a concentrated form, it is very anti-inflammatory and helps a lot of cellular repair if you have cancer or if you have any chronic disease. There's been so much work done at MD Anderson Hospital in a cancer center in Houston, Texas. We had a cancer seminar by the Healthy Medicine Academy in March of 2011, where the main international researchers spoke and gave huge presentation on just the research on turmeric curcumin in cancer. Okay, so what we usually do is like to do a teaspoon of botanical treasures. This is called botanical treasures. It has the turmeric, it has the green tea extract. Many of you have heard of EGCGs, and it has resveratrol, 20% resveratrol, grapeseed, 95% OPC3s, and grape skin, and quercetin. Many of these are really important antioxidants and anti-inflammatories and cellular repair. Living in our society, this is why I take one of these smoothies often during the week, because living in our society, we have to be giving ourselves a chance to repair. The more we, in our consciousness, start to shift, the more our immune system stays strong, and the more we're working with somebody who can help us get in touch with and heal those kind of core energies, it can help so that we at some point don't need to take so many supplements. Okay, so lifestyle and sleep and sun and food, okay, are four of the main things. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of this. The botanical treasures can have somewhat of a bitter taste, so I'm going to add things in here as we go along. That's the reason I put the paleo meal with the natural chocolate flavor, and that's why I put the nano greens in, and there'll be a blueberry extract, a berry extract. Berries are very good anti-carcinogenic. They help us to heal cancer. And so that's why you'll see me pull some of those aside and put some of that into the smoothie, partially to make it more palatable. That's why the chocolate flavor and the berry extract, and you can use stevia. I think I brought some stevia out here somewhere. I had it out here. Okay, so let's move on. So here I have, this is a probiotic, and it is by Bioimmersion, which is an excellent brand. There are probably a lot of good probiotics out there, okay? But I think Bioimmersion is a wonderful brand, and they've done their research. Many of these are imported from Europe, many places in Europe, Bulgaria, and other places where solid research has been done that's not influenced by big money wanting to make big profits. Okay, so that's a key ingredient here, is the integrity of the products. Okay, so generally once I get that in there, I'm going to get some nut milk. This is a brand, the brand is not important. Something that's sugar-free, non-sweetened, and can have a taste. It can be chocolatey, it can be almond. This is an almond milk. It can be chocolatey or vanilla, that kind of thing. Any good nut or rice milk will do. Alrighty. Okay, did I get everything in here? Okay, so next, I usually put some of the almond milk in there, and then we have an alkaline water machine. I think there's a lot of good studies on alkaline water, and it's how it supports the alkalinization of the body. So we'll fill this up somewhat. You can fill this up just with water if you want. It'll be creamy also, but I like to put the almond milk in to make it a little creamier. Okay, and then the next thing I do is put in, this is called Natural Health Fruit Anthocyanins. This is a combination of the organic extract from organic berries, and it's sold at the Center for Natural Healing in Ashland, Oregon. I don't think you can buy this online. I think you have to buy it from them. So I'll usually use like a teaspoon, sometimes more than a teaspoon. It makes the botanical treasures and some of the other things in here a lot more palatable. Okay, so I can find the top. Here we go. What I usually do is blend this, mix it up, and then the idea is to take it off, take the top off. There's another product called Beyond Whey, which is a non-denatured whey protein. This is also sold by Natura Health Products. The whey protein has immunoglobulins in it that stimulate the immune system. It has many other things in it, colostrum, it has glutamine that supports the immune system and supports the gut. And the reason I didn't put it in the smoothie initially is because non-denatured means it hasn't been cooked. You don't want to heat it up too much. I take the top off and I put this in at the end like that, and I just turn the blender on just for a second, just to let it mix up. Excuse me here. you have any questions? Okay. And then we put it in, and that's what it looks like. Looks like a chocolate milkshake. Probably doesn't taste like it. You'll have to see how it tastes and try to make it better. Oh, is that terrible? I'm just kidding. So, it tastes really good. I usually will sometimes put a little stevia in it. Sweet leaf liquid stevia is good. You can get any flavor with that. But this tastes pretty good. It has the botanical treasures with the bitter turmeric in it, and it tastes really good. And the other advantage of the smoothie is that you can also take your other supplements with it. Or if you have a difficulty taking supplements and pills, if you don't want to do that, you can get some of the other supplements. I'm going to mention some of them here. There are some that everybody with cancer and chronic illness needs to be on. This is called Cell Guardian, and it is made by Natura Health Products, and it has DIM, calcium D-glucarate, and isothiocyanates and sulforaphanes. These are products from, not trying to show off everything I know here, but these are products, these are constituents of broccoli and the cruciferous vegetables, and there's sprouts from those. So everybody takes 3 of these twice a day, if you can. Okay? I think on an ongoing basis, taking Cell Guardian 2 twice a day for a maintenance kind of program for anybody is going to help their liver, help their estrogen metabolism, their hormonal metabolism, help cellular detoxification. Okay, and then there's another product here, if I can find it. This is a fish oil combination. You can use any fish oil, and I get these in capsule form, but you can put a tablespoon, if you got Beyond Essential Fats, which is by Natura, which is high quality fish oils, and has other things in it called sea buckthorn oils, which really support the system, the immune system in many ways, and anti-inflammatory. And you want to try to put that in a smoothie. I didn't have this here in my house in a liquid form. So a tablespoon of that into when you're making the smoothie, into the blender, put a tablespoon of that in there, and see how that goes. And so this is the fish oil. I'm not going to take that out. And so there's other products here that I didn't put in the smoothie. One is vitamin D, and most people need 5,000 international units a day of this, unless you live in a very sunny climate in the world. Most people we find on doing the blood tests are vitamin D deficient, and vitamin D is an essential nutrient to help the hormonal system, for the heart, for the brain. There's so much research in this. If you search online, you'll find out what I'm talking about. This has been well researched, and it is generally undervalued even today in modern medicine. Most medical doctor people don't prescribe enough vitamin D. It's important for bone growth and many other things. And there's certain other nutrients here which I'm not really going to go into. That's part of a general program when people are taking supplements. Certain supplements programs need to be designed on a more individual level. There's nothing the matter, by the way, in the smoothie of getting some mineral powder. There's good mineral powders, mineral liquids. We all need minerals. I use a lot of a product called Calm, which is magnesium citrate powder, and you can get that at most health food stores. I'll put that in. It has different flavors with it. And so I think that's all I'm going to say. I think that's what I wanted to say here. Start doing this and do a medicinal smoothie. Try to do, if you have a cancer, you know, the kind of things I'm talking about here are going to support your healing process and help you to not have to do as much chemotherapy. And if you're having to do chemotherapy in whatever dose you're doing it, this is going to help your body heal the effects of the high doses of chemotherapy you're on, if you're working with an oncologist. And so, and many of these products like the Immicare 1 that I mentioned earlier, help the bone marrow, help protect the bone marrow and keep the white blood cell counts up and keep the red blood cell counts up while you're getting chemotherapy, even if you're getting low dose chemotherapy at certain clinics, at the Euromed clinic in Phoenix. Having as much of the Immicare 1 on board in your system is really going to help you. You can also drink the smoothie throughout the day. It tastes really good when you use the chocolate powder. Most of us can't stand chocolate, I'm aware of that, but I know I'm asking a lot. So the chocolate and the fruit anthocyanins really help the system get more balanced, help the flavor. Okay, I think that's about all. I hope that you take this up. If you have cancer or have any chronic disease you're working with, whether it's an autoimmune illness, the Immicare herbs, the ones that are the medicinal mushrooms in Immicare 2, are high quality. I know Natura gets these from JHS, which is a well-known, good national company that makes good quality medicinal mushrooms. So that, you know, if you go to health food stores, you don't know the quality of what you're getting at most health food stores, unfortunately. I know, I did my research, I've done my due diligence with this, and the reason I put patients on these programs, and I know the reason Donnie Yance and Dr. McKee, who work with patients in consultation, puts patients on these kinds of programs, is to see the patient start to get well and regenerate and start to restore vitality and be able to tolerate the chemotherapy they're going through and to be able to heal of their cancers. And this is the kind of medicinal smoothie, as well as taking some of the extra prescribed, suggested supplements that you may have to supplement this with. So, in good health.